call it a mine. A mine!
Hello everybody and welcome to day 4. I did it. I made my first character. I finished the dwarf. I gave him a nice little environment here. My favorite parts overall were definitely later in the process when I got to get to the shading and the lighting and stuff like that. Lighting the whole scene and everything really brought the realness to life. It was really fun though, being able to sculpt and design my own character. I went pretty far into that dwarf tutorial that I had linked before. I'll link it again. Then when it started getting into the clothing and colors and stuff like that, I started to kind of show my own creativity in those areas. As you can see here, I worked a little bit trying to get a helmet going, but then I decided I kind of want to try something a little simpler and something I think add a little more flavor to my own creation, and so I gave him a cool little mohawk in spirit to the Warhammer universe with the Slayer dwarves. Give him a nice red beard and a red mohawk. I thought that looked pretty cool. And then I made an attempt making some hands and fingers. I didn't end up going through that. I felt like it was a lot of work. And also I kind of felt like the Noob arms kind of just fit the art style better. That like kind of cartoony look, I feel like really ended up being the right option. It just kind of fit the art style, I feel like. So I ended up just going with the nubs on the arms. Designing the environment was pretty cool. I made some of the rocks that you can see, but a lot of them I also were like low poly ones that I just got off of some websites that gave free models, so I didn't have to go through the same process of making all of the rocks over and over again, which was very helpful. Made some mushrooms stuff over on the side, which are pretty cool, that I based off of some ones that I saw online. The sword I got off a website too, stuck it on there. I kind of wanted something for him to be looking at, besides just like a glowing rock or a gem or something, so I decided to stick like a sword in the stone type deal at the top end of that, so we can have something to look at. So one thing I found interesting, anyone's familiar with rendering in Blender, there's Eevee and cycles, one thing I was kind of confused about that I never really went back and figured out was there's like this shadow that goes across his nose, and the shoulders, kind of like this awkward shadow that isn't really formed by anything, and that only showed up on the cycles renders, which was typically the better option over Eevee, which was a little frustrating. I couldn't figure out why that was happening. I guess it maybe there's some kind of creases in the nose or something that the lighting was picking up in the cycles that Eevee wasn't picking up. But the Eevee render turned out fine for that. I don't know why it didn't show up there on the shoulders or the nose. Besides that though, the image I think turned out really good, and really excited about it. I will have an update on what I'm working on next. I think I'll probably have that video up tomorrow, because I was going to include my future projects at the end of this video, but I decided it deserved its own video, and since I haven't posted in 3 or 4 days, I'll have 2 videos back to back and be talking about what I'm doing next, because I'm really excited about it. I'll be talking about what I'm going to be doing for the next month or so in my next video that I'm hoping to be coming out tomorrow. So thanks for joining again, and stay tuned for day 5. See ya.